Hello, welcome to our September episode of Senior Living in Alexandria. I'm the host, Jim Roberts, and I'm here on a monthly basis to provide quality information for seniors, their friends, family friends, caregivers, stakeholders, others that want to learn things that are important to seniors. That's our goal, to try to impart knowledge and create wisdom for those who might be interested in many of the issues that confront our seniors. I have another guest today. This is a wonderful friend from many years ago, but he's here in his official capacity. This is Craig Pfeiffer. He's the Director of Communications and Public Information with the City of Alexandria. He knows everything about everybody in that, and he saves it up and packages it for the rest of us that aren't as informed as he is. So welcome, Craig. It's nice to have you with you and to see you again. Let's start out what we'd like to talk about. Give us a little bit of background on your job and on you and how you wound up in the job. What are the things that brought you to this point in your career?
Sure. Well, first, Jim, thanks very much for having me. I'm looking forward to chatting with you. I've been with the City of Alexandria for 14 years now. Actually, this month is 14 years. And over the course of my time with the city, I've started out working on the website, specifically helping develop applications, working with a team of folks to increase the interactivity and the different services that are available through the website. And that evolved over the years to include more and more different types of communications. I served as Deputy Director of Communications for several years and then eventually became Director of Communications in 2014.
So you cover the entire city? What's the span of your services?
Yes, our office reports directly to the city manager, so we're involved with a wide variety of issues and subjects. We work with all of the departments of the city. We are responsible for internal communications as well to our 2,500 full-time employees and our hundreds of other part-time and seasonal employees. And of course, our main focus is on the community, external communications, working with the public, residents, businesses, visitors, and our counterparts in other government agencies.
I assume that over the course of the time you've been there, you'd have to evolve the types of media that you serve. Is that how does that work? What's the breadth of things that you do there?
Well, we were actually one of the first localities in Virginia to have a website going back all the way to 1996, which is a very long time ago for the web. Yeah, that was actually only a few years after the World Wide Web became a public thing. So we do have a long history with technology, but even technology changes over time. And so we saw the advent of podcasts and social media and different kinds of digital photography and video technology. We've worked with mobile apps and mobile devices. And so all of these things factor into a comprehensive communication strategy where we try to serve people in a lot of different ways so that whatever is comfortable for you is available to you.
So you've got a wide set of means of distributing information. How well, let's go to seniors for a second. How well are seniors receptive to all of those choices, or some of them, or what works well with seniors?
I would say that just like everybody else, each person, each senior has a different level of comfort and a different preference for different channels. I think it's a myth that seniors as a whole are not tech savvy. There are actually many seniors who, by virtue of their previous experience or their newfound time to learn, are really taking advantage of technology. Likewise, there are also seniors who are not comfortable with technology, but that's true for non-seniors as well. So that's why we don't really try to say that a certain platform is just for millennials or just for seniors or just for this type of customer or that type of customer, but we have a wide variety so that whatever is comfortable for you, whatever your preference is, that's what you would go to. And so the important thing for us is to make sure that we are giving the same message in each of those channels so that people who use the website are getting the same message as people who are reading our emails or people who are coming to public meetings or people who are on Twitter or people who are reading an ad on the side of a bus. And all of those messages should be parallel or similar so that we don't leave anybody out.
In your operation, you've got a range of sources of information. You have the mayor's office, city council, the various departments, and something happens in one of those. How do they know to automatically contact you and make you part of the team, or do you have to act like a reporter and go out and seek a story, or seek to see what the facts are and be sure that it's accurate in reporting? How does that news gathering or information gathering work? That seems like a big job.
It's all of the above. You've really hit on a lot of the different approaches we take. And the mission of our office really revolves around three things: developing, coordinating, and distributing messages. So you're getting to developing and coordinating. We are involved in planning what the city should be talking about at any given time based on the issues of the day, based on services and programs, based on emergencies, externalities. And so we do that in conjunction with coordination, which means that we work with all of the departments to try to keep a flow of information coming through a central location so we can plan out how to do the development and the distribution of the messages. So for example, we wouldn't want to talk about 5 things at the same time. They would drown each other out, and it would be confusing for the public, but it would also just, everybody's busy, everybody is consuming a lot of different media from a lot of different organizations, and we are competing with everybody else in the world for your attention span. So if we need to tell you to put your trash out on Thursdays instead of on Wednesdays, we're already competing with so many things. The last thing we want to do is also try to tell you 4 other city things at the same time. So that's a kind of a simple example of we want to space things out. We want to pace the messages. We also don't want to conflict with something that's going on. We don't want contradictory messages. We don't want incomplete messages. So it's just a matter of trying to get as much of that information as we can in advance and plan how it's going to eventually be laid out for the public.
I think an observation on media today is that there's many, many sources, some of which are trustworthy and reliable. My guess would be that your operation is impeccably trustworthy just by the nature of, I think because of Alexandria and the way it is, but in general it may be a reliable source. Is that, have you found instances where that hasn't been a case or where that's been an issue, the trustworthiness of the content?
Well, we take very seriously our role as a government agency, and as a local government agency in particular, we're involved in so many things that are essential to daily life, public safety, public health, infrastructure. We want to make sure people can count on us, especially in an emergency or in a new kind of situation. We want to make sure that we are an accurate and reliable source. And so that means that we do try to double check and triple check our facts, but it also means that we try not to represent subject matter on which we are not an authority. A good example is that we don't operate public utilities in Alexandria. We don't operate the electric utility, the water utility, the gas utility, the telephone, the cable, the internet. And when there are problems like outages, we try not to be the source for information because we don't have control over that situation and we don't have the first-hand information. Now, we will often get involved on the things that are related to government operations like road closures, for example, or if there's a public safety connection. But if there is a power outage, our main message is call Dominion Virginia Power because they are the reliable, accurate source for the information. So that's really kind of an everyday example of what you're talking about. But we do have a lot of intersection between state issues, federal issues, issues with private sector organizations, and we try to stay in our lane and give the information that we know we can give and not represent other organizations.
Excuse me, we have to go to a break right now, but when we come back, we'll want to talk about some of the various programs that you might have, and I believe you've got 4 different academies, and we'll want to learn a little bit about those. So hang tight, we'll be back in just a short while. We're going to a cooking demonstration. So
sounds good.
We'll see what's there, and then hopefully we'll be able to talk after that.
All right, bring me back something.
I hope so. It'll be good. here with a special intermission between our interview today. We're going to do a new feature. That is that we're going to have a cooking demonstration. We did this last month and it seemed to work well, so we're going to continue to do this. I'm pleased that Madison Reeder has come back. She was here a couple episodes ago and told us about the nutrition program she runs for seniors at the Innova PACE program, but she's here in a totally different capacity. She's going to teach us today how to do a very flavorful dessert that's very good for seniors. It's nutritious, but beyond that, it just tastes darn good. We're going to do a fresh cherry crisp today. Madison is here, and she's going to show us how to do that. I'm delighted. I do want to point out, she had a green smoothie, she said, for breakfast. The antidote for that has got to be a good cherry crisp. So, Madison, tell us how to do this, and we'll enjoy what we can do.
All right,
Take it away.
absolutely. I'm so happy to be back today. And like you said, today we are going to make a cherry crisp. This is a really great, flavorful, but healthy dessert that only has a couple ingredients, so it's really super simple to prepare.
Okay.
The first thing that obviously we want to do, since we're going to be baking this, is we always want to remember to preheat our oven. And for this one, we're going to preheat to 375. And then we're going to put this crisp, when we're all done and it goes in the oven, we're going to put it in an 8x8 pan. So making sure that we spray that pan, that's really important. That's the first thing to do. Thereafter, we're going to make sure that we take some cherries. Cherries are still kind of at the end of their season in September, but usually the ones that'll come out at that time are the sweetest because they've waited the longest to ripen. So I took some cherries here, I cut them in half, made sure we pulled all the pits out. That's really, really important. And we got about 3 cups of cherries here. To do the bottom layer of this crisp, we're going to do this berry layer. So we have the cherries, and then with that, we are going to add some honey. So there's a lot in the media about how raw honey is, one of the best things that we could do for our body to help our immune system.
Right.
But for our seniors, I don't always recommend raw honey.
Oh.
Because raw honey is unpasteurized. So a lot of times for people with weakened immune systems like our seniors, that can be something that could cause more harm than good.
Or maybe potential allergies or some other things.
Exactly.
Okay. So pasteurized honey.
Yep, so this is just some pasteurized honey here. We're going to do 2 tablespoons of it. I like this one just because it's a little bit more spreadable. It's easy to mix, but you really can choose any honey that you'd please. So we'll do 2 tablespoons of that in this bowl here.
All right.
Once we have our honey, the next thing we're going to add to this bowl with the cherries is some arrowroot powder. So that's something that not that many people have heard of, but in this recipe, it's going to be used as a thickener. So it kind of gives a nice, thick texture to this cherry recipe.
That's just a standard item that you can find in the grocery store.
Absolutely. You can find it in the aisle with all the spices. And the reason that this is so great is, like I said, because it does thicken, but it also has some great health benefits. It has some B vitamins in it and some other minerals.
And how much of that?
We're going to do a tablespoon.
Tablespoon.
Of that, yes.
Okay.
And since my tablespoon had lots of honey on it, we'll do.
Oh yeah, that would be an issue.
Yes, do 2 half tablespoons. And the next thing we're going to do here is just add a little bit of lemon juice.
Okay.
So I just cut a lemon in half. We'll just give it a nice squeeze.
All right.
We'll mix that all together. And that's the bottom part of our cherry.
That was easy. That took 30 seconds.
I know.
We're right on track.
The
This
best
is easy.
recipes are the easiest ones, I say. Because then you have time that it fits right into your regular everyday life. And that's, really what nutrition is.
Can you use, if you don't have a cherry pitter, or can you use the ones that you get in the jar that are already pitted?
You
Does that work
certainly can, and that's a great option for a lot of our seniors because it's much easier than, it takes a lot of hand dexterity to use that knife, so that can be a lot easier for our seniors here. Then for the crisp topping, we'll do that in a little smaller of a bowl. We're going to add 3/4 a cup of sliced almonds.
Sliced.
And they have some great health benefits as well.
Okay.
They have lots of healthy fat and a little bit of protein.
All right.
So that kind of adds some nutrition to this dessert. Then we're going to add a 1/2 cup of oats. And oats are great. They're a healthy carbohydrate source that's gluten-free. So a lot of people now are being tested for gluten allergies and finding that they are allergic to gluten. So this is a great option too for those of us who are gluten-free.
Are those the quick oats or the standard?
They're just the standard
Okay,
oats. Yep,
all right.
just standard oats, but even quick oats would be okay for
All right.
this one. we're going to add a little bit more honey, 2 more
yes.
tablespoons of honey. And what I really like about this recipe too is, yes, we're baking it in the oven, but it's not a standard baking recipe. We're really just baking it so that it heats up and kind of cooks those oats down a little bit. So you can play with it. If you want to add a little bit more or a little bit less honey, that's perfectly okay for your liking.
All right.
So we'll add that.
Want me to give this a stir just to keep it?
Yes, please.
Let it know that we're coming to it?
Yes, I love to
yeah.
have help in the kitchen. That's
There we
perfect.
go. All right.
Excellent.
There.
Now we're done with the honey. The
All right.
next thing that you can add if you'd want to, but I'm not going to today, is you can add a little bit of coconut oil just to add a little bit of healthy fat. That's something that's really popular in nutrition these days.
I like healthy fat.
Yes, so
All
that's,
right.
that's a good thing that you can add. But we're going to skip that today, and we're going to add some ground cinnamon just to
Okay.
give it a little bit more flavor. Just about 3/4 teaspoon of that, but I'll just add a little dash in there of cinnamon. Cinnamon's one of my favorites, and when you make this in your home, oh my gosh, the house just smells amazing because of that cinnamon. So we'll kind of give this a nice toss together here.
So you've got these in the bottom of the pan,
Yep,
8 by 8,
correct.
and,
Yep,
and buttered and so that it doesn't stick.
absolutely. That's extremely
And,
important
and
because
we've
of all the
heated the
honey.
oven to 370, what'd you say?
375, that's
Okay,
correct.
there we go. So far, so good.
Yep,
All
excellent.
right.
So once this is all mixed together, you'll lay those, then this goes down just crumbled on top,
On top.
and it sits in the oven for just 30 minutes. So once it's in the oven, you want to make sure that you're kind of watching it when it gets close to that 30-minute mark to make sure that those cherries are bubbling at the bottom and the crisp is getting lightly browned on the top. So that 30-minute mark is pretty standard, but
Okay.
may need a little bit
How
more.
do you know when it's done?
When those
When the
cherries
timer
are
goes
bubbling,
off?
and when the timer
Oh,
goes
okay.
off, yep, or that cherry base is bubbling a little bit and the
All
top
right,
is lightly
okay.
browned. So then once it's done in the oven, it's all ready, and you could put it in a bowl and you can serve it with some ice cream. There's
Oh.
lots of healthy ice cream alternatives out there these days too that are a little bit lower in sugar for those of us who are diabetic and kind of need to watch out for that. So would you like to give this a try?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. Here's there's
Oh.
a spoon for you, and I'll grab one.
All right.
All right, you have to let me know what you think.
I want to get a sampling of all those flavors. Oops. Okay. That is good.
Oh, thank
That
you.
is good. That is healthy. Ice cream would be good. A little milk or cream.
Absolutely.
Straight up is just great.
And you can eat this warm or cold. I prefer it warm with that ice cream. It'll melt a little bit, or a little bit of milk like you said. But this is great either way.
And so what did we take? That was a half an hour to do this?
Yep.
That's quick
It's
and
really
easy.
quick. And it's great. It'd be great for a nice dessert with your family, a nice little snack. And the cherries with the antioxidants from the cherries, a little bit of carb, healthy fats from our oats and our almonds. You know, it's a pretty well-rounded
It's nice
dessert.
that you have the nutritional component to this. This is just good to me, but to you, it's a healthy meal.
Absolutely.
I think, if you don't mind, I think I'll have. I'll go
Please,
ahead
it's all yours.
have another bite.
It's all yours.
Well,
Absolutely.
thank you very much. Yeah.
You are very welcome.
Well,
We're back, and I'm here with Craig Pfeiffer, Director of Communications and Public Information, City of Alexandria, and we were discussing some of the ways that news items, things that people need to know, information that's important to citizens of Alexandria. We want to talk a little bit more about how that news might be distributed, how they make decisions on how that news ought to reach citizens of Alexandria and how they make those judgments. So, what's the distribution side of the equation for you?
Well, as I mentioned before, we try to use a lot of different ways to get the word out so that whatever is good for you is available to you. So we always send major announcements to our Alexandria e-news service, and this is a very important way that we get the word out. It's an email, text message, and voice subscription service. There's no charge, so subscription doesn't mean you have to pay, it just means you have to sign up.
Okay.
So if you go to the city's website at alexandriava.gov/e-news, you can sign up for about 100 different topics ranging from city council agendas to recreation news to information about land use in a specific area, and you'll also get emergency alerts. So it's a very valuable way of finding out a wide variety of topics, but only what interests you. And you can sign up for the city's general news releases if you'd like the major announcements and not necessarily the smaller ones. So you can give your personal email address, your work email address, your cell phone, your landline phone, and then we send you just what you asked for. So if you're not that interested in email and you'd rather get a phone call, you can do that. And for emergencies and major announcements, we'll actually make an automated phone call to your landline or to your cell phone, whatever you select. So e-news is very important. We have about 40,000 people signed up for e-news. We also post information on our website, alexandriava.gov. We are fairly aggressive users of social media, and we have been since 2008, which is a long time for local government, primarily on Facebook and Twitter, but also Instagram, Pinterest, Google+, and whatever else will come along in the future, because we want to be where our customers are. We don't expect that people will come to our website and click refresh every 5 seconds to see what's posted. We want to be on your Twitter feed if you're flipping through Twitter. We want to be on your Facebook feed if you're flipping through Facebook. And so that's important for us. And we are a two-way user of social media, which means we are not just posting things, but we're answering questions, we're taking comments and complaints and suggestions. And we really appreciate when people have something to say, whether it's positive or negative, because it means we can engage, we can be part of that conversation, and we can help give the accurate information. We produce video for the website and for Channel 70 on Comcast and what we call Alex TV. So all of those videos are online and on channel, many of them are on Channel 70. We televise city council meetings and other public meetings on TV as well. We have a newsletter called FYI Alexandria that goes out every couple of weeks by email. And we do a lot of print publications, flyers, posters, and that sort of thing. So again, some examples of the wide variety of ways we try to get the word out.
Tell us about Call Click Connect.
Call Click Connect is our customer service portal. It's a website, it's a phone number, it's a team of people, and it's for reporting a problem, requesting a service, contacting public officials. We're trying to be a one-stop location for customer service. So you can call 703-746-HELP or 4357, or you could go to our website, alexandriava.gov/call-click-connect. And what's great about this system is that you say what kind of issue this request involves, let's say a pothole. So you just type the word pothole, or you choose pothole from an alphabetical list, and then when you enter your request, it goes straight to the pothole people. So it doesn't have to be routed through a lot of other folks. Sometimes people will call the mayor or city council with a pothole complaint, or they'll call a department director, and it seems like that would be faster, but it actually is slower because then those people just have to route the request to the pothole people. So our system is set up to let you get straight to the people who do that kind of work. And you can submit a photo of the problem, you can specify where it's located on a map, you can get updates, and you can see your previous requests, and that's all Call Click Connect.
What you've described is thorough, comprehensive, magnificent. What issues or things that seniors in particular might have, issues or problems they might need help from the city or want to learn more about it? Are there some things you can point to there that relate
Sure.
particularly to seniors?
We have a lot of programs that are aimed at helping our senior residents, and there is an entire center of our Department of Community and Human Services that works on adult services and aging services.
Okay.
And so on our website, there are a lot of programs detailed that involve financial assistance, caregiver support, nutrition, transportation, financial assistance, or assistance with finances. And so all of these things are detailed on our website at alexandriava.gov/aging.
Are there sections specifically identified as aging?
Yes.
So all of the things you list, you can find them through transportation, but you can also go to aging and it would identify transportation.
Right. If you go to aging, there's a list, a catalog of links across the
Okay.
website to these
Okay.
programs.
Okay. Tell us more. You mentioned 4 academies earlier. Tell us about
Right.
those, please.
We have a very popular set of programs that let people come in for several nights over the one night a week over the course of several weeks and learn about what the city does in lots of different areas of operations and programs. And our flagship academy is called the City Academy. It's 9 evenings in a row. We do this typically in the spring and the fall, and the curriculum includes presentations from every city department, a lot of hands-on tours, lots of time to ask questions, and to really get to know the people who are running these programs. We have a Community Police Academy and a Community Fire Academy. These are also about 9-week programs that are even more hands-on. So you get to ride along with a police officer, you get to handle a fire hose, learn CPR, and really get a chance to understand how our public safety professionals do their jobs to protect the community. And then we also have a very popular senior academy in partnership with Senior Services of Alexandria. And this is a program that's geared specifically to seniors, but it includes many of the same topics and presentations, but in a way that is geared towards the questions that seniors may have and the programs that they may be interested in. So these programs are all detailed at alexandriava.gov/academies, and they're all free. And they're very popular, so we encourage people to sign up as soon as they become available. The fall sessions are getting underway right now, so the next opportunity will be for the spring sessions next year.
Was there a need that prompted those, or was it just the imagination that this is something we should do? I mean, were people saying we just aren't getting information in the form that we need, and this was a response to that? What was the chicken and egg?
Well, I think it was more that people were getting a lot of good information, but they wanted even more opportunity to engage and to learn. We have an incredibly active, educated, involved community, and we have about 80 boards and commissions that people can serve on, but that's still only several hundred people, and there are even more people who want to get involved. Some people would just like to spend a few hours talking with city officials, and that may not be something you can do on the break at a public meeting. And so this is an opportunity for people to really get into the nitty-gritty about how government works.
It seems to me your office has a very large mission, a very large charge to gather all of that, federal, state, local, particularly local, various departments, et cetera, and then package it, disseminate it to a variety of audiences. And you're sitting at the hub of that. Do you have a staff?
Yeah, well, no, absolutely. I have a great team.
Okay.
We have communications officers, web developers, a video producer, graphic designers, and an outreach specialist, and we all work together every day. We do media relations, we take questions from the public, we handle social media, we're producing and editing these publications I mentioned, and we're working with all of the other departments because we don't actually create the facts. We are receiving the information, receiving the facts, so we rely on our colleagues throughout city government and our partner agencies. We do about 400 or 500 different programs in city government, and so that's one of the things about local government, that we just have such a wide variety of subject matter that it can be challenging to organize it, and our website is very broad and very deep. But that's one reason why we emphasize Call, Click, Connect, because if you can't find what you're looking for, feel free to call or submit a request and somebody will get right back to you.
Unfortunately, we've run out of time. You've filled it up.
Thank you.
But thank you very much for giving us that large overview of your office, what you do, what the city does, and I think the responsiveness to the citizens. I think that's important. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks
Appreciate
for
it
having
very
me.
much. Good to be here. Good to have you.